You're listening to a Scribe Magazine podcast. My name is Tyson Lautenschlager. I am the research chief here at Scribe. So I wrote a story for Scribe on the physical effects of technology on the body. And of course, I feel like a lot of people, when you think of technology and using social media and how, maybe it can be harmful for you, you think of the mental health effects, but there are physical health effects that need to be addressed. For example, just a study done by Dr. Kenneth Hansraj, a spinal surgeon out of New York. In his study, he refers to just lowering your neck to look down at your phone causes 60 pounds of tension right on the body, which is obviously a big danger to a lot of people, a lot of younger people who are on the phone all the time, using their computer on the phone. It can be something that is really harmful to us. I feel like doing this article has been an eye-opening experience for me. I've learned a lot just talking to the people that I have. For instance, I talked to a chiropractor, Dr. Yuri Charko, out of Pivot Sport Medicine here in Toronto. And Dr. Charko basically told me, the same sort of things that Dr. Hansraj referred to in his study.
But nowadays, we see 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds with iPhone 7s and playing a lot of games. So yeah, they're hunched over and their faces are glued. And even if it's not a cell phone, I see it even with younger individuals, say like 4-year-olds or 5-year-olds or even 3-year-olds, because parents are trying to pacify their children.
Talking to Dr. Charko, I'm conducting the interview, I'm talking to him, and I look at him and sitting as straight as can be at his chair. His feet behind his chair properly, where his posture is perfect. And it's one of those things that you don't really think of in the moment until you look at somebody who's doing all these amazing things, these smart things that, properly we should do. And it's one of those things that maybe it's something that we need to become more conscious about, because we are doing damage to the back. Not sitting up straight, looking down, staring at our phone all the time. On our computers, as the younger generation, we are constantly on our computers, and a lot of times we have to do work on our computers, and Dr. Charko referred to that quite a bit, about how people in their 20s and 30s on their computer are damaging their back.
I would still say, 50% of my patients are not quote-unquote athletes. They're desk jockeys, they sit at a desk, or they spend a lot of time in front of a computer.
So I also talked to Dr. Christine Lay. Dr. Lay is a neurologist and headache specialist out of the Women's College Hospital here in Toronto. She is also an associate professor of neurology at the University of Toronto. And Dr. Lay talked about headaches, specifically migraines. Migraines, obviously, is something typically women, more so than men, experience in their lifetime. But they're starting to become more common among younger people who are on their phone for a lot of the day.
Neck pain is very, very common in a migraine attack. So a lot of patients will have 80% or more will have neck pain associated with this uncomfortable, bad headache that they get.
And Dr. Lay talked about this and talked about the dangers of being on the phone late at night, which also causes insomnia, and it's a big issue for people.
In young adults specifically, sort of late teens and people in their 20s. And what they've found is that using a cell phone or an iPad, for instance, after quote-unquote the sun's gone down and it's getting closer to bedtime, 11 or 12 p.m., leads to significant disruption in sleep. So patients end up with insomnia.
I know personally, I'm on my phone all the time, and I am on my phone before bed. I'll be in my room, light is off, getting ready to go to bed, checking my phone on Twitter, and the blue light, which is obviously very bright, can be very harmful to people. And it's something that, it's probably time that we take notice of, when we're on our phone all the time, because we are doing damage to our bodies, causing headaches that don't need to be caused. And I think these are things that we need to really cut out of our lives. Dr. Wilkinson, Dr. Carol Wilkinson, who I also spoke to, is a optometrist in the Kitchener-Waterloo area. And Dr. Wilkinson, also talked about blue light and how the eye strain is very damaging as well.
I mean, they're still studying it. It's a fairly new phenomenon, but there are a lot of people using computers nowadays. So having said that, we need to be a little more concerned, especially the younger generation like yourself. Are you going to end up developing macular degeneration younger than previous generations did because of the exposure to blue light? They're thinking that it could be a risk factor.
And there you have it. I mean, this is becoming an issue. It's becoming something that we need to think about more often. Something that we're not thinking about enough, but I think as time goes on, and hopefully listeners will consider this as well. I know I have from writing the article. It's been a big learning experience for me. So thank you for listening. You've been listening to Scribe Magazine.